Good morning, everybody. It's Ross Allen Skorzewski, and I invite you into my home as we do the Wednesday morning quick hits with me. And I'm excited to be able to talk with you guys this morning just for a little bit outside of my home. Have some things that are kind of pressing here today that need to keep me home so that I can take care of my lovely bride as well as others that I would call my children when they're no longer at school. But with that, thank you so much for taking time out of your day today to come in. I see Dr. Jason Nobles and see Natasha Hansen, Crystal Pranke, Dr. Brenda Hasbrock. Good morning to you all. It is a beautiful day here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And once again, it's time for a little cleansing sip of the morning. Don't take this wrong. I'm not trying to be blasphemous. I kind of joke around. Jehovah Java, it's a pick-me-up. It's a quick little mental redeemer, but it's a beautiful thing. A cup that my wife got me from St. Petersburg, Russia. So with that, coffee break. Yes, cleansing. Today, we're talking about the role of pain when it comes to personal development. And I want to say thank you real quick to Dr. Patrick Flynn for stepping in for me last week as well on that Wednesday morning when he started off the quick hit in a most fabulous and comical way by saying, see, Ross has been doing so much personal development that he's actually even starting to look like me. Hey, I take that as a compliment. You know, I mean, Dr. Patrick Flynn's a good-looking guy. So, hey, if I can strive to be a good-looking guy and as smart and full of wisdom as he is, hey, I'll take it. But with that, let's get back to this. 2 weeks ago, though, I did a session on talking about happiness. And, you know, one of the things that I believe becomes really a mental roadblock for a lot of us is thinking that the reason why we do something in life is because it's going to make us happy. And I chuckle with that because for the longest time, and I know that people even still today, that's one of the main reasons why they stick something out, why they have this kind of a steadfast or this perseverance type of posture in life is in the hopes that whether it's with a spiritual pursuit, you know, in this faith track, or it's personal development and growth, or it's in a relationship, that you're doing what you're doing in order to make you happy. And I just think, once again, as I said 2 weeks ago, I believe that that's a failed mindset. Good morning, Janelle Marie. I think it's a failed mindset because not everything we do in life really does make us happy. We don't get married, in an essence, just to make us happy. We don't get a job, in theory, just to make us happy. I think that when we really begin to focus on that one phrase that I had mentioned, that happiness is the byproduct of doing what is right versus what feels right, we really begin to set the stage to understand that this concept of doing right versus what feels right can evoke many emotions, can evoke many responses. And the idea that happiness is just always going to be the end goal is just, it's limiting because, good grief, how many times have you done something in your life that has not brought the result of happiness? It happens more often than we like. And it's not a tragic thing. What's tragic is that we equate every action that we do, everything that we say, every right response is always going to bring happiness. But let me ask you this. How many of you have actually done that phrase that says, do what is right versus what feels right, only on the other side of doing that, whether it's changing a mental mindset or if it's breaking down really negative, broken patterns of thinking, if it's beginning to take the bricks out of the wall of that defense, wall that you put up because of wrong past offenses that you've experienced in life, that when you do what is right versus what feels right, that as you go through the motions, the byproduct of that is pain, is discomfort. And I think that we have so gotten to a place in society where we are afraid of pain. We're afraid of discomfort because nobody wants to feel bad. We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. We don't want to bring pain into somebody else's life by being open and honest and truthful with them, even though it's the right thing to do. We don't want to take some of these negative messaging patterns that we rehearse every day that is about self-defeat, that's about low self-esteem and insecurity. We don't want to actually have to reflect inward and challenge our current operating system, if you will, because we know it's not going to make us feel good. It's not going to make us happy. And in the process of that quest for happiness, we avoid some of the greatest growth moments that could be had in life because we are more concerned about feeling good and experiencing happiness than we are experiencing pain or discomfort. And I really do like this topic for today because it's also, to me, I think happiness is always elusive, right? But I think pain is inevitable. I think discomfort is inevitable. And I think we need to become comfortable with pain. We need to be comfortable. I know it sounds kind of like this crazy juxtaposition. We need to be comfortable with discomfort. And here's why. When we look at this concept of pain, we know obviously what it is. I'm not talking about the pain that of, a cut, a paper cut, or a broken bone, which the reason why I'm home today is, I'm taking my wife to the hospital to have surgery on her wrist or arm, as Dr. Patrick would say. She broke a bone. She slipped and fell and tried to break her fall and had a severe break. So they wanted to do emergency surgery. So pain in that essence is not what I'm talking about, but there could even be a correlation there. I'm talking about the pain that comes to us when we try to come in and correct something that is broken within us. When it comes to personal development and growth strategies, when it comes to faith pursuits, when it comes to doing relationships with other people, when it comes to parenting, you need to understand that in this comes the challenging of behavior, comes the challenging of mindsets, action patterns. And I'm sorry, I just see here from Sarah Ray Frisk, it says, sorry about the Wi-Fi keeps cutting out. I hope that it's going okay. Give me a thumbs up, everybody, just to let me know that we're on track. I'm not seeing any glitches on my screen, so if it's glitching, I'm sorry. I got strong strength here. But back to this concept of pain. It's not intentional, I believe, a lot of times that we are trying to cause others pain. It sometimes just happens because we're bullheaded, we're stubborn, and we get ingrained into these patterns of life. And thus the reason, though, that when we really start to entertain personal growth and development, some of the biggest concepts that we have to begin to wrestle with is challenging our current belief system, challenging our current mindsets and our current behavioral patterns, seeing that those that bring life continue to and to hold on to those, but those patterns of living that continue to bring death, pain, and discomfort, to do away with it in the hopes that we can reestablish a new way of thinking, a new way of living, and a new way of right living, so that we can get away from potentially causing pain to others and frustration and upset, in the hopes that we can right this and this. But in the midst of that rewriting of some of our internal operating systems, rewriting that internal code, comes pain. You can't avoid it, because it comes with you having to wrestle with whether or not, for a pattern of time, years, or those who've spoken into your life, or belief systems that you put into place, maybe they've been faulty. Maybe they've been lying to you, your own thoughts, setting the stage for you to interact with the world that you do life in every day in a way that sets you up to have hiccups with being the best representation of yourself. So pain is inevitable with growth strategies. Pain is inevitable with personal growth and development. But a lot of times, even with that, with pain going inward, we must realize that being realistic with ourselves, being vulnerable, being transparent in the midst of that pain, in the midst of that, even sometimes disappointment, we must understand that those feelings have two potential outcomes. They can either cripple you in the current mindset that you have, that you're not good enough, and create a deeper seated root of insecurity and low self-esteem, and cause you not to want to be on the pursuit of bringing the best representative of yourself out into this world every day. Or it can lead to you still out of pain, discomfort, and hurt, and maybe even little glimpses of guilt once in a while, can fuel you into this new trajectory of self-growth, self-betterment, and personal development and growth, in the hopes that you don't repeat those behavioral patterns again, to lead you to the same place where you live in the if only I woulda, shoulda, coulda, would have changed the way I thought, changed the way I act, started working on personal growth and development years ago, or made this decision to treat this person better because I just, out of how I feel on the inside. Because like I say, sometimes in the midst of this crazy, in the middle of dysfunction junction, sometimes the thing that we do the best, thank you, Dawn, saying for the stream is good, is that we spill out our crazy into the world around us. Because sometimes when we're feeling miserable, when we're feeling pain, it's no different than us just wanting the world around us to maybe sometimes feel the same stinking way. But pain is inevitable. Yes, I love that, Mim Smith. Sometimes we have to go through things that are emotionally painful, but much later, some of those things were worth it, or you realize it was necessary. Pain is necessary for growth. I hate to say it, and it's a bummer of a thought if that's your perspective, but it should not be the perspective in that which that steals life from you or causes you to run from the pain. It should cause you to run towards the pain. I love this. Dr. Patrick Flynn, we created a quote for him because he had it in one of our trainings. He said, some of the greatest people in your life, that you surround yourself with great friends, real friends, will have no problem bringing pain into your life. And that pain in which he speaks of is that of when we let somebody down, when we do something and we're not living up to our end of the bargain, when we're not being the husband that we're supposed to be, or the spouse that we're supposed to be, or the brother, the sister, or the co-worker, or the employer, best friend, father, mother. That those people in our lives that see that know that there's more to be had, and there's more of this good representative known as Ross to come to the table, that someone will call me out and hold me accountable and pull the greatness out of me, versus rather letting me continue to live in a pattern of dysfunction that only sets the stage for me to experience more pain. I love it. Great people in your life, they'll have no problem bringing pain into your world because they know that pain is going to lead to life. But if you mentally embrace that pain and it leads to a badge of shame, if it leads to a badge of shame, that is not going to be a life-giving posture. A badge of guilt, that is not why we would want somebody to be so quick to bring truth and accountability in the hopes that it would bring greatness out of us. And when that happens and when that comes, we should look at that and go, thank you, because now I know what I need to work on so that I don't offend you again, hurt you, or let you down, or fall short of meeting the expectations that you have placed on me. Pain is inevitable. And I know a lot of people that watch, especially, a lot of you gals, and there's a lot of people who are, people who pursue faith, and, not to draw the spiritual parallel here, but with the intentionality of trying to convert or to expose Christianity. But really, when we look at the big picture of, the story of what happens, on the cross, pain was inevitable. And Jesus knew this. And I'm sure I'm sure if he could have tapped out at any point in time and not had to go through what he went through, whether you choose to believe and embrace that this is just a great story, or maybe you are like so many of us who believe that this is life and this is what we hang our hat on. This is faith to us. This is, what we believe. That painful moment that he endured while hanging on the cross, leading up to the place where he says, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do, and said, it is finished. That pain brought life. Simple. These parallels, we can find them all the time. I know that as a father, that when I see my son acting crazy, when my daughter's, kind of acting crazy, we bring corrective measures into their life out of love. And we bring pain in the hopes to see correction, in the hopes to see that pain, disappointment, even a little bit of guilt will lead them to right living. To not continue to live in a pattern. No, I never try to send a message to those that I work with, even that I manage, or those, even my spouse, and when I'm wrong, or my kids, that if there's a time where I have to take somebody through a little bit of a growth strategy that's painful, and if it's my kids, I'm quick to get to the issue and to the point, but I'm also quick to love on the backside to let them know that this is not a personal issue, in the hopes that I don't damage their esteem, but in the hopes to get them to see that it's about a task and that they can make it better. They can improve on the pattern of living. They can improve on the action, and they can take to heart and be motivated to know that we are there to help them move forward. And as we say in the office, to fail forward. To fail forward. Pain sets the stage for us, in all honesty, when it comes to personal growth and development, to fail forward, to say stagnant, or to just simply fail. And I know that a lot of people in life, failing over and over and over, has sold you this mindset that this is the best that it's going to get, but don't entertain that thought. Don't think that your best days are behind you and that you are only going to live a limited expression of yourself from this day forward. Failure, if you fail forward and you take the pain and the disappointment and the shame and the guilt and you let it bring life. See, that's a hard task that I think a lot of us have to embrace. And we have to be willing to actually bring into our day-to-day living. And here's the other thing. I really do believe, especially when I, as a former youth pastor too, and seeing how things have, with my kids now in sports and just the craziness of today's society, where everything truly is. It's about how my kids feel. And when it's sports, everybody's a winner. Everybody gets a trophy for doing apparently the same thing, when there are other students, that do nothing, and those that excel, but everybody gets the same trophy. And we don't want to make people feel bad. We don't want to hurt their feelings. We have parents that want to be friends instead of being parents. We want parents that want to be liked more than they want to discipline their child. We have workplace environments that are fearful of how to bring correction into their employee sphere, their workplace environment, because they're afraid of offending somebody or taking it the wrong way and it going to human resources department. And it's turned into this place of absolute crazy, where we're so concerned about people feeling good and being happy all the time, that we are failing to be the mirror or that glimpse of accountability with the people that we're doing life with, in the hopes that we can see moments of truth come out that create pain and discomfort, but in the hopes that it will cause them to realize that they are in an environment, hopefully, to fail forward, to experience the pain that is going to lead to life, that is going to lead to life change, to personal development and growth strategy that will not stall out and fall due to shame that leads to paralysis, but pain that leads to motivation that becomes fuel to say never again. Never again. Tenacity, to be that individual that is consumed with realizing that his best days, her best days are ahead of them, that this moment of failure, this moment of pain does not define the rest of your days. I'm okay with pain. I'm okay with shame. I'm okay with discomfort. Heck, I know I cause other people that. And if you're watching, I am sorry. I am on the personal growth and development track to continue to allow the things that I believe in, that I hold to, that create my moral compass on the inside of me, to continue to keep me moving forward so that I can be the best representative of myself in any aspect of a relationship that I have, professional or personal. And what I love about this is that every single one of us watching now or later, whether it's Dr. Kalina Wells or, if it's Brenda Dvorak or Danny Stoyanova, my favorite Bulgarian, we're all going to experience moments of pain in life as we do life with other people, and especially when we try to bring about this personal growth strategy that is going to help bring life out of this. It is going to be met with pain, discomfort, and it's not always going to be easy. Don't run from it. Don't shy away from it. Don't let it become the badge of shame and guilt, but let it become now just another notch in your belt that says, okay, it's just one more, but I might be knocked out. I don't like how I feel right now, but it's time to get back up, and it's time to run after that very thing that I know that dwells on the inside of me, and that is greatness. But it's a constant pursuit. We never stop. We never stop. We never stop. Like I said, at times I draw spiritual parallels because that's 16 to 20 years of my life of working within the church, and there may be pain for the night, but joy comes in the morning. Spare the rod, spoil the child. There's so many amazing elements to what can bring about greatness out of us. But unfortunately, I really truly believe that this long-standing posture of true life change is going to come at that crossroads of pain, whether you choose to hit it head on or run away from it. We've all had momentary glimpses of, quick and easy growth spurts, if you will, in our growth strategies for ourselves. But a lot of times those quick, easy, momentary growth spurts have come with little to no pain. And they've been easy. But if we're looking for true life change, and we're looking at really rewriting the code within to bring about the new operating system that is going to allow us to do life with others in an easier, more clear fashion, it's going to be ugly at times. It's going to be uncomfortable, and there will be moments of pain. Surround yourself with the right people, though. Number one, as we've said, I said this episodes ago, and we'll wrap it up with this. Surround yourself with people that really give a rip about you and that see you. Because sometimes we let people speak into our lives that have no business speaking into our lives, who don't have a proven track record of growth strategies themselves, that don't have, an ability to speak into marriage because they've had 3, 4, 5 failed marriages themselves. Well, how dare you say that? I mean, they might have a little pearl of wisdom. You're right. If they had the pearls of wisdom, you'd see it evident in their life. You wouldn't see repeated patterns of dysfunction. Well, I mean, who's to say that they should never be able to speak in my life? I'll let you be the judge of that. I'll let you discern that moment, but be careful. I've surrounded myself with some great people that speak into my life. One of them is my best friend, and it happens to be the person that I work with, and that's Dr. Patrick Flynn. Knows everything, knows my pains, knows the things that I'm weak at, but also knows my strengths and chooses to allow me to be weak in my moments of transparency and vulnerability, knowing that those weaknesses don't define me, but through the pain of his truthful words and his relationship to me, he will really help me become the best representative of myself so that I can be that better husband, so I can be that better father, so I can be that better manager, I can be that better employee, to those that I serve within the Wellness Way. So I want you to entertain that until we meet again next Wednesday. Pain and its role in personal development. It's inevitable. It's inevitable, and it's okay, because pain really does bring about life. Pain, when it's done and it's embraced properly and it's brought in into your life, whether it's how you wanted it to be or not, if you endure that pain and you begin to rewrite the internal code to bring about the new operating system, more fruit will be had. If you will bear more fruit, and your life will, as a result of pain, begin to change. And I believe it will be long-lasting, true life change. Why? Because it just wasn't simple and easy. And sometimes true life change comes with great pain. Thank you this morning for allowing me to come into your home or your place of business as I'm sitting in my home. Sorry if things are a little bit jerky, but I hope you got the message out of this. So let's continue to rally. Let's continue to move forward and embrace this possibility that tomorrow and today, but let's finish today first, there is the chance for us to embrace pain to lead us towards great moments of change and life. Go out and be life-giving agents. Go out and do life with others. Make them smile. But remember, we don't do everything in life just to make us happy. It's the byproduct of doing what is right versus what feels right. So with that, I salute you all. Happy Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your hump day. I enjoy looking at your comments, and I will respond to them as we get on the backside of this post. So thank you again. Enjoy your day. We'll see you next week.